Thank you for joining.
Are we live yet?
We are live. We have a few people watching. HG Science Nerd.
Episode 2, Season 6. Jon Snow. Jon Snow. That's all everyone wants to talk about is Jon Snow. And that's why I have it written right there. Jon Snow in circle.
Jon Snow lives.
That's all everyone wants to talk about.
All right. We're going to give you what you want. We're going to give you what you want, what you really, really want.
Right. But I think what we want is more Luke in frame. I'm seeing way too much me right now.
I'm just tweeting out.
Okay. I feel like my hair is very well framed into this right now.
So bear with me. I'm just making sure that people can find us. So
right, that's important.
With that in mind, please share.
Oh, I like those hearts going up. The green hearts. What does that mean? What do hearts mean?
It means people like something they see.
But the hearts are all above you. I'm not getting hearts. I'm getting the comments.
We share the hearts.
I don't know about that. I feel like all the hearts are on your shirt. My shirt is heartless. It's got nothing. Who's the
new Lord of Winterfell.
The new Lord of Winterfell. I don't think the old Lord of Winterfell had a heart either.
No, but
there are no hearts when your flag is an upside down flayed man.
So, thank you for joining again.
I am Joe. This is Luke. We don't really have a name for the show yet, so Joe and Luke's Excellent Adventures.
As opposed to our bogus journey, which will be next week.
Right. Well, we have to be stationary, so we can't go on any journeys.
Pizza pack something? Jon Snow is alive. Ramsay is a dick.
Joe Smiley Face. I'll take that. Thank you.
Joe Smiley Face. That is your nickname now.
Yeah, I'll take it.
And Ramsay must die now. Can you guys hear us okay? Because we're actually using a microphone.
Put some hearts over Luke if you could hear everything.
Put some hearts if you can hear us.
Boom, that's a lot of hearts. They can
Tower
hear us.
of Joy next episode.
What is the Tower of Joy?
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
All right, the Tower of Joy. So if those of you have not followed what's happening in the books, the Tower of Joy is what I'm really excited for, and I'm sure you're very excited for. And this is the flashback.
I don't be like joy in Game of Thrones.
Well, that's the thing. It's called the Tower of Joy.
Like the joy of throwing people off the tower.
Well, it's called the Tower of Joy, but supposedly that's where Lyanna Stark dies.
Gotcha.
Right. Who do you want to die out of Ramsay, the Mountain, and the Sand Snakes? Ramsay, for sure. And I see some R+L.
The Sand Snakes are kind of annoying, though. They should dispatch them.
I have no love for the Sand Snakes.
Yeah, that whole story, like, they should just nuke Dorne and, be done with it.
Except they got Bran to sing last season. That is their one redeeming quality. The Sand Snakes got
and they didn't
Bran
kill
to
him.
sing.
That was nice.
And
He's one of my favorite characters, and I'm really glad that they didn't kill him.
Okay, so I want to explain. They like your hair. I'm assuming
really?
they like.
It's because of the framing. I'm telling you. If we framed Luke in the same way, it'd look like that.
The camera adds 10 pounds of hair. Okay, I want to explain R+L = J, and this is non-algebra.
I don't want to do math. Is that math?
Okay, so for those of you that are obsessed with Jon Snow, this is important.
Which is everybody, which is us too, I think.
It is.
But they cut his hair off, so maybe the obsession's going to die down?
He's
more like 90s Metallica now.
Well, I
or
think
late 90s Metallica.
Pull that off.
Yeah, they pulled it off. He's like Black Album Jon Snow.
So R+L = J is a theory that Jon Snow is not actually Ned Stark's son, but he's a Targaryen. Right? And Jon was born out of Lyanna Stark and Targaryen, what's his name?
Aegon?
Was it Rhaegar? Who was the Targaryen? And it would be Rhaegar because it's R+L
Was it the Mad King?
It would be his brother?
The guy who came before that?
Daenerys' brother, I think. So if you guys can fact check us, that'd be great. Yeah,
Rhaegar, if you guys could do the show for us so we can tweet in, that'd be great too.
And wait. Taga DeBar says Snow should not be back. I don't know if anyone's going to agree with you.
Yeah, that's yes. Don't give out your email address.
Okay, Daenerys' brother, guys. Yeah. I like the guys because it's like, come on, guys.
Yeah,
you should know this.
Yeah.
Okay, the oldest brother. I'm sorry. There's a lot of names to keep track of.
Well, the oldest brother was the Meister that died at Castle Black.
He was of the previous generation.
Oh.
Okay. R+L = J is the theory that Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark are the parents of Jon Snow. And it's always just been a theory. If you read the books, if you look at all the clues throughout the show, it points at this being a very likely scenario. And the only way we will know is if we can see what happens at the Tower of Joy, which is a flashback to when Ned Stark tries to rescue Lyanna and finds her in a pool of blood which they would imply is because she was murdered, but it actually might be from childbirth. And
don't give birth before the 2000s. That was really dangerous.
It was very dangerous.
Really, like late 90s. That's when you want to start
love
giving
child,
birth.
right?
Before that,
so
not a good idea.
Anyway, that's the theory, and it looks like Bran was already setting this up.
Right.
This episode from last night, it shows that he can have a flashback.
Is it a flashback? That was more of a vision.
It was a vision, but the thing is,
and I think this is the first. If it was a flashback, the first Game of Thrones flashback.
No, because they did a Cersei flashback. Remember when the prophecy of her 3 kids would...
Right. The Golden Shroud type thing.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Hello to our friends in Russia.
What's up, Russia? All right.
What's happening in Russia? I hope you've seen the last episode of Game of Thrones.
Yes, and if you haven't, watch it.
Maggie the Frog. So yes, it is the second flashback we've seen in Game of Thrones. And so I think what they're doing with this, and you guys please weigh in, let us know... I think what they're doing with last night's flashback with Bran is basically saying, yes, this can be done, and this can be an accurate way of getting information about the past. Right,
and what happened.
Because they show Hodor, and maybe it's leading to some big Hodor spin-off or something.
Is there going to be like a huge reason that Hodor can't speak? Is that going to play out into anything?
I think,
or did he hit his head on a rock? Like people.
Well, in the books it says he got kicked by a mule or a horse.
Something.
But I think that what they're doing is
they're establishing... The perils of Game of Thrones life.
I think they're establishing that a flashback can actually be accurate, right?
Right.
And I think that's setting up the Tower of Joy for next episode. And that is what I think we should all be really excited about. So if you are not hip on the R+L = J theory, this is maybe more exciting...
I think we need a cooler name for the theory.
...than the Jon Snow resurrection.
Right.
Which
wasn't a theory. Everyone saw that coming. Who didn't see that coming?
Did you guys
see it. Who thought it was gonna happen this quickly in episode 2? I was thinking totally like episode 4, maybe.
I was thinking they might drag their feet a little bit.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
But I think that
even though he was resurrected so towards the end that it's really
practically episode 3
resurrection. That's for sure.
Not satisfied. At least episode 5, episode 3. Thought it was going to be 3.
Did you guys think there'd be maybe some more pomp and I can't say it. What is
pomp and circumstance?
Is that what it is?
Around him being resurrected?
Yeah, I don't know. A little bit more magic, some type of ghouls or whatever.
Oh, this is a good point. Ruby says, I think they couldn't leave it longer or else they would have burned the body. So, okay, I want to tie it all together. The R+L = J, if Jon Snow's a Targaryen, here's what I expected to happen.
Then he's not burnable.
Exactly. I expected Melisandre's magic to not work. And so they're like, okay, well, I guess we better burn the body.
But he doesn't burn.
And he doesn't burn, and then he comes back out of the flames, so it's like her magic worked, but it was combination. That's what I expected.
I like that.
And I still think that's what they'll do in the books, but that's not what they did last night. So I was a little disappointed that they didn't try to burn his body and it wasn't burnable.
It was a little bit anticlimactic to some degree, but... in Game of Thrones spirit, maybe it was supposed to be like that.
Jon Snow versus Ramsay Bolton, Battle of the Bastards. It is coming.
You know what I think is going to happen? Because I saw some...
And Targaryens can burn. Some of them don't. But that would be like, if he doesn't burn, that would just be evidence. That would be proof that other people can see that's not a flashback that only Bran sees, you know?
By the way, tell me if you agree with this. You know who's going to kill Ramsay? I'm putting, not a lot of money, but I'm going to put $2 on this. It's going to be the Giant. Because they're going to attack Winterfell.
I think it's going to be Jon Snow.
You think so?
I'd love to see the Giant just stomp on him, but I don't see it.
Maybe not just a stomp, something brutal. I mean, when the way he just
I love the way he threw that guy against the wall.
Fantastic. This was definitely an episode for the Giants. Because you have... both giants, you have the Franken Mountain.
No, you got Hodor.
You got Hodor. Like, put it this like a wall is really the most dangerous thing. If you're a giant, just throw the guy's head against the wall. Done.
Boss Jones says the Mountain versus the Hound is still going to happen. I don't know. I really don't think that. I doubt that they're bringing.
I don't think they're. It seems like they're killing off anyone that's not.
I think they're wrapping up
storylines. That's why they killed the mom and her baby and Ramsay's brother. Well, there was no room for her.
Do you guys feel like they're really fast tracking this season? Because my complaint was last season felt really slow. Like the first 4 episodes, very little happened, and it feels like this season they're just jumping right along, and it's like kill off people, kill off let's get rid of the Dorne thing.
Right.
Let's just fast track it. Let's see. This season's going to be like season 4. No.
I think so far this season's been moving really well.
But it all
2
feels too
episodes in.
simple.
What do I know?
It all feels too simple. That's kind of what I'm getting at. I feel like they're giving us the abridged version of
Right.
the events, what's going on, and I think it's just because they're trying to get us to the end and they're trying to get rid of like Arya. Do you guys really care about seeing Arya learning to be Daredevil with her sticks?
Or do all of us only care about Jon Snow and the dragons and Daenerys fighting the White
someone
Walkers?
Says they needed to bring Jon Snow back quickly, and I agree.
Right.
Because people would be in an uproar.
Yeah, there's a huge female audience that wants Jon Snow to be alive for other reasons also.
Ruby is bored with the Arya story. What about Bran? I care about Arya. Well, I think you can care about Arya, but also not really prioritize her story.
Right. She might make a cool comeback.
But it feels like that's a little slow, and like we really want to keep the pace.
Right. Agreed.
Which I'm being a little hypocritical because I'm saying that it's moving too fast and streamlining things. But
Right. The thing is, if what she's trying to accomplish and accomplish and become no one, what does that have to do with the story of the kings in Game of Thrones? I mean, who cares? Not who cares, but it doesn't really...
I don't think it ties together.
It doesn't tie together.
Unless
she's going to jump on to the bandwagon and, fight White Walkers and stuff. Do we need anyone that's not going to fight White Walkers?
And Hot Finding says, how about Rickon? Yeah, we haven't heard anything from Rickon for how many seasons? Has it been 2 seasons?
I don't know. But they also, same with Benjen Stark, they alluded to him again. I think he's a White Walker.
I cannot wait to see what's up with Benjen Stark.
He's probably a White Walker.
Do you guys even remember Benjen Stark? It's been so long since we've seen him.
Yeah.
It's character building, the Arya storyline. I agree, it is, but it's like, is it going to tie together with the main story?
Right.
Or is it going to just go in its own direction? Which is maybe okay if it's a good story, but...
Her storyline has its ups and downs, and right now it just doesn't apply to the Game of Thrones storyline in its whole.
Hey, Osmond, what about the rest of Arya's hit list? Well, I think the thing with Jack and Hagar is, like, she has to abandon that. You're no one now. Forget about your hit list. You got that.
He even offered her eyes back, which is the one thing she did want, and she said no.
It's like, I'll give you your eyes and a trip to Disney World. Are you sure?
He didn't offer a trip to Disney World.
He was one step away
from it. Is there a Disneyland in Game of Thrones?
I would imagine there's an equivalent.
There's some sort of it. It's rickety. It doesn't really have
Do you guys
the
think
safety
Stannis
codes.
is dead? Yes, I think Stannis is dead.
Definitely, it can't. There's not enough time to keep all these characters alive.
I think they're trying to wrap it up. And also, it's Stephen Delane. He's the actor, and he said some not so flattering things about Game of Thrones.
So he's out.
So it's like that's what you say when you're already out the door. Can we talk about Tyrion and the dragon?
Yes. Can I ask? I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask everyone. So we are all under the impression that episode 1 takes place a day after episode 10 from last season.
Right.
So I understand that Olly looks a year older because this is
kid.
biology. But why are the dragons 3 times the goddamn size? 3 times the size. And it's not a complaint because I'm Joe and I love dragons and I want them to grow even more. But what happened? And they said they weren't eating. I mean, they're huge. They're huge.
Big. They do that every single season, though.
No, but that's because lots of time elapses between the seasons. I mean, this is the next day and they're tremendous.
Ciaro says dragons grow really quickly.
Okay, well, I'm okay with that, and I'm glad they're bigger, but
they were big last season, not really that much bigger, and that's true. I don't think it's as big of a leap. Like, from when they were born at the end of season 1, and they're, like, this big, like cats, the next season they're, like,
I'm just saying, if Drogon
goats.
was that size when he flew down and saved Daenerys, like, he would not have been a problem.
Huge, and they do not eat. I think they're just on a recent hunger strike. I don't think that I think they've been eating, just...
Right.
Not recently.
Even so, they've definitely they've gone through puberty. That's for sure.
Dragon puberty.
Bran
gets into the dragon's mind, maybe. Yes, I think that's going to happen because Bran is told you won't walk, but
you will fly. No, I think that's something that we really want to happen, and I think the show's going to run with that.
This is a good question. Brady says, "Am I the only one that's over Khaleesi's story, Daenerys?"
You're going to be back on it when the dragons come to save her and she becomes Khaleesi again, just this time with another army of Dothraki warriors behind her.
I'm pretty excited to see her with the Dothraki.
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm having flashbacks to Khal Drogo.
I like that culture.
I miss Khal Drogo.
Yeah.
Tyrion's story, I missed that about the dragon, and people are mentioning Tyrion as the third rider. So
they didn't eat him.
They didn't eat him. That's a start. That's a good first introduction to a dragon. He does not eat you.
But which makes no sense. But they did talk about the fact that a lot of Meisters think that dragons are even smarter than people.
Right.
So it would make sense that, but it wouldn't make sense that the two other dragons, like Drogon, would know that Tyrion's cool. But the other two dragons haven't met him yet.
Hasn't really had a face to face with him yet.
Well, he saw him in the
So
Colosseum.
a lot of people are mentioning. He is also the Mad King's son. So just like there's the R+L = J theory that Jon Snow is a Targaryen,
right?
There's a theory that Tyrion is also a Targaryen, right? And that's what a lot of people are mentioning here. In which case, maybe the dragons are having like a mano-a-mano. Like
it's like a pheromone scent.
Yeah,
thing.
like I can sniff the
dragon. Gotcha,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Tywin's wife raped by the Mad King. Yeah. And then
that could be because we know Tyrion is definitely.
And is it possible he's one of the three heads of the dragon? That's it. So and also the quote, "You are no son of mine." But
do you think he knew?
I don't know. So that's a good question. If Tywin knew that Tyrion wasn't really his son, considering how much he really didn't
up until like 1940, when you couldn't know if it was your kid or not.
Well, I mean,
and Game of Thrones is real, obviously.
He didn't exactly hide his disdain for Tyrion,
No.
so I gotta assume that he didn't know.
Do you think he's not related to Jaime?
Well, that's it. If they would have the same mother. They would be.
They would have the same mother, and it still brings me back to what we talked about.
He absolutely knew.
Do you think? I mean, obviously Tyrion holds no ill will towards Jaime.
No.
But Jaime told that thing to Bronn. Like, next time I see him, I'll split him in two. If he shows up with a dragon, do you think there's going to be that bad blood between Tyrion and Jaime, or are they just going to hug it out? I think they'll hug it out.
If it is true, then Jaime and Tyrion kill each other over other fathers.
Jaime has won the audience.
And we have seen the teaser for episode 3. We'll get to that.
Yeah. That's with a lot of new characters that I don't know yet, including we're still waiting for Ian McShane, one of my favorite character actors out there. He's going to be in this season. Am I wrong? I think I'm right.
He was cast.
And I don't know who he's going to be. Maybe he'll be in charge of the Harpies.
They killed each other's fathers. That's what you're trying to say. So Tyrion and Jaime, if they're half
Jaime
brothers,
killed Tyrion's father, killed the
right,
Mad King.
which would really be poetic. I like that. And I love that. And also there's the saying that the dragon has 3 heads.
Right.
Right? Daenerys is one of them, and there's 3 dragons, so 3 dragon riders.
Right. Jon Snow.
Tyrion, Jon Snow, and Daenerys would be the 3 heads of the dragon.
And then Bran is one of the dragons?
He would just be the brain of the dragon. I mean, it's kind of like the dragon has 3 heads and an extra brain.
All right, why not? I could just see Hodor walking around holding the dragon, just moving it around.
I'd like to see Hodor as a dragon rider.
Yeah.
Balon Grey, someone's asking about the new Greyjoy. That is Balon's brother.
Balon's way younger brother.
And if you, blinked or, tweeted during the scene, you would have missed him mentioning being Balon's brother before.
Yeah, but I like the fact that they did talk about how he did go mad, and he thinks he is the storm. He is this. He is that. I'd like to see some flashbacks
he is the drowned
of that
god.
scene. And can we talk about that bridge?
Oh, Ian is in one episode. I think he is the Mad King.
Oh, he's Ooh. Who said that?
Who said that?
At Brady something? Danielle Pratt. I like that.
I hope
so. We get more of him than just a flashback scene.
And Nathaniel's watching. He sees you.
Excellent. That's good to know.
Let's see.
Can we talk about that Greyjoy bridge that they put up? Why they couldn't? I mean, his whole fireplace is made of stone octopuses. They obviously have good builders. That was the bridge they put together.
And
the king doesn't have a king's guard or something.
They need a new decorator.
There's no one watching him. There's no one getting his back.
They got a bridge guy that they go to. He gives them the deal.
I don't know. Maybe they put all that work into the fireplace, so they kind of skimped on the bridge.
But also they talk about how the North came and they tore down their towers and stuff. So maybe they had a good bridge
at one point, and now they just have this crappy bridge.
But I definitely would not like to have to make a trip to the bathroom.
No, that's
across
ridiculous.
That bridge.
And it's always raining there, so you have to go to the bathroom all the time.
So now Balon's dead. There's going to be a power struggle in the Iron Islands.
I want to say
Enrique is on his way back.
I don't know what's going to happen there.
I think that what's going to happen
Is
is
he going to apologize to his sister for biting her in the hand?
I think so.
I
I
hope
hope
so.
so. He probably has rabies now.
Right.
But I think that what's going to happen is the sister won't get the support to rule the kingdom. But when the son comes back, who's the only male heir,
But he's not
the
an
two
heir.
of them. But the two of them are a package deal.
Right. That'll be interesting. That'll definitely be interesting.
The bridge is for security purposes easier to cut.
Easier to cut.
That's
That
a good
makes sure.
theory.
And I think also since they're ironborn and they're of the water.
Okay.
Maybe if you can't handle a bridge like that, then you don't belong.
It's
you're
slippery
not
when
ironborn.
wet. So how about Ramsay feeding his brother and his stepmom to
I
the
wasn't
dogs?
surprised. I almost
What's the
saw
quote?
that
What's the
coming.
quote? So Roose says to Ramsay earlier, if you acquire a reputation as a mad dog,
They're
you'll
gonna
be
kill you.
treated as a mad dog. And I got to assume that's where Ramsay gets the idea. Like, hey, mad dog, you say?
I'm a mad dog. I'm going to act like a mad dog.
There you go.
Some mad dogs do very well in this life. They get a nice kennel. Who even knows?
So, and Ruby says, I think Theon is going to his home Winterfell, not the Iron Islands. But he knows that Ramsay's there. So I have to assume that he's knows better than that.
He's not going to go to the wall. We know that. He's not going to go
No.
find Jon Snow.
So yeah, is Ramsay now officially the most evil, vile character in television? Forget about Game of Thrones. Forget about like Joffrey was here. Ramsay is clearly up here.
I'm going to give it...
Is there anyone worse in TV? Ramsay,
Yeah, I mean,
imitated one
Sir
on
Meryn
TV.
Trent like beat up and made love to 12-year-old girls. Like that was his thing. Like,
I mean, that's
not
pretty.
so
That's pretty
cool.
bad.
Right, but then he didn't die. This is Game of Thrones.
We never
world,
saw him
where, like,
feed a
maybe that
baby
isn't so bad in Game
to
of
a
Thrones
dog.
world. I don't know. They're all pretty bad, but yeah, I'm going to give Ramsay the crown of terror.
Ramsay comeuppance is going to be grand, and I give you points for using
I think
the
it's
word
going to be the
comeuppance.
Giants because I saw some trailers where I think they bring a big army to get to the wall because they want to get Jon Snow or kill him or
So
something
the Battle
like
of the
that.
Bastards. I'm going to assume
Battle of the Bastards. Is that what it's called?
that's Ramsay and Jon Snow, and I think it's going to be episode 9.
Okay.
Because you know how every season episode 9 is when something really huge happens?
Even though last year it was episode 8 was Hardhome.
Was it episode 8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
9
you're right.
was with the dragon when she rides
episode
it, which was
that
also
last season
as
broke
epic.
the rule.
Yeah.
But the Battle of Blackwater was episode 9.
No, up until then it was always episode 9. Red Wedding, episode 9, absolutely.
Ramsay will attempt to invade Castle Black. They will come up against and
Right, so
invade
Ramsay's
it.
going to come up against Tormund and the Giant, and I think we'd all love to see that Giant take down Ramsay. Because again, Ramsay has no idea that Giants even exist.
Right.
So
Right.
I'd love to just see his smug fucking face.
You love this giant.
Oh, he's so cool. He's so cool.
He's pretty cool. 1-1 is going. Is it 1-1 or 1-1? I hate to insult him by pronouncing his name incorrectly. He's going to pull off Ramsay's limbs. Yes.
Or he's going to hammer into the ground like a
It's
nail.
gonna- no, it's going to be like an old Looney Tunes. He's going to put him here. And he's going to go bam, bam,
Yeah.
bam, right into the
I'd
ground.
like to see that showdown. I'm just saying. That's what I'm going for.
The giant killing Ramsay isn't the best payoff.
No? You'd rather Jon Snow? Jon Snow's not going to really hurt him. Jon Snow's too honorable.
I
he's gonna give him
think the best way to kill him is if Reek kills him, right? Isn't
Yeah.
If anyone deserves to kill Ramsay, isn't it Reek?
Yes. Well,
What happened? Okay,
everyone deserves to kill. I mean, Sansa deserves to kill
They
him
all
also.
do, but who deserves the most?
I think us.
Sansa, Reek. We're seeing it's a split decision.
I'm still going with Giant. That's what I'm going for.
Jon Snow, so he won't be his old self. That's a good point.
It's a very good question. Do you think Jon Snow's coming back as Jon Snow? He seemed Jon Snowish when he got that. Or is he going to be
He
different?
had Jon Snow's eyes.
Yeah, or is he going to be different now that he's more Black Album?
So that's
Metallica
another
with the short
thing, and
hair?
I think that this goes back to them really cutting the season short and abridging things and rushing through, is that they mentioned when Thoros of Myr, that whole resurrection thing from seasons ago, where they explained how resurrection works, when they come back, they're less than what they were. They're different.
Right.
They're changed, right? And
But they
so
still are valiant. Like, well, the guy that keeps coming back. I mean,
he will
he's
be
still the guy.
Azor Ahai, which I think is correct.
I don't know who that
that's the
is.
prophesized, the one with that Melisandre thought
Gotcha.
that Stannis was.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. Absolutely.
But
And I guess Melisandre is now
I don't
definitely
think Jon
on-
will be himself. Kill the boy Jon Snow. Sansa or Jon should kill Ramsay and say the North remembers. Each time they are less, but it's only happened once to Snow. So
Right.
I think that in the books, the theory was that Jon Snow, when he's being stabbed, he wargs into ghost.
Right.
So his mind is separate from his dead body, which we've seen that happen in the show.
Standard science.
The wildling that could
Yeah.
warg, he goes into the bird,
Yeah.
right? And then he attacks Jon.
Yeah.
So they've already set this up to happen, but I think it's just too complicated in the show, and they just want to like streamline it. So I think they cut that part back out of it, but I think that headcanon, like mentally, if we have a problem with him being equal to what he was,
Right.
we can just pretend like he was in Ghost's head.
Here's another question. So he did die, which means he's technically not. He doesn't have to uphold his Night Watch vows.
And that's what
anymore.
someone just mentioned.
So is he going to become Jon Stark or Jon Targaryen and rise up and take over the North?
The next episode is called Oathbreaker.
So maybe that's the oath. He's
Jon's
gonna break.
watch is over now. He can marry Daenerys,
Oh,
unless Daenerys is his sister,
oh,
which would be
which
in keeping,
still plays okay.
Which would be in keeping with
yeah,
this
yeah,
world.
Then he'll definitely marry her.
Yeah, so he's not in the Night's Watch anymore. Yeah, he's out. I think whenever you're killed, particularly by members of the Night's Watch,
You're good.
You have a get out of watch free card.
Right.
You at least get like a month paid vacation.
You should definitely get some type of maternity leave or something. Absolutely.
Yeah, so next episode, I think we're going to see the Tower of Joy. I think we're going to find out whether Jon Snow is a Targaryen or not, and then we'll know whether he's going to marry Daenerys.
Yeah. Do you think that through death he found some answers out?
Oathbreaker's a direct message to Jon going back to take Winterfell. Yeah, I think you're right. And some minor spoilers. There's been photos of Kit Harington on set. That was another reason we knew he was definitely coming back, where his costume is not the black robes,
Got
so
it.
it looks like he's a little Starkish. Rickon will be betrayed.
Kill
next
Olly.
episode?
So Ollie's. That's a good question. Ollie's in jail
Giant
now.
should kill the little boy.
That's not going to happen. Will it?
He should-
Dogs just ate that lady and her.
Yeah,
and her
but
kid.
that baby had done nothing wrong. Ollie deserves it because he's
You think they're going to kill him?
Okay,
If
here's the
any
question.
show would kill him, it would be this.
so Ollie needs a pass.
I think Ollie gets a pass.
Straight up rip him apart. He's a kid.
No, if he dies, it's not going to be brutal.
a
There's
lot
no
of
way.
a lot of swearing at Ollie. Okay, Ramsay, Joffrey, Ollie.
No, Ollie's not. Ollie was
Where's
the
he-
poor
where does he
kid.
go?
If anything, like how is
He saw
his
his whole family and village killed by wildlings.
Yeah,
okay?
I'm going to give him a pass. Like maybe
I'm not giving him a pass.
Fine, not, but he shouldn't be ripped apart. He shouldn't be, if he's going to get killed, it should be more, a bolt through the heart or something.
Well, he
like
killed.
a Mance Rayder
He killed
type thing.
Egret, right?
Yeah, but to save Jon Snow.
Well,
he
he
didn't
thought he
know
was
it was
doing good,
Egret. He
right.
thought he was doing the right thing.
He gives a little like.
Yeah, he gave.
I gotcha.
Yeah, and then he grew.
You
grew
you
1
owe
year
me
in
one
1
now,
day.
Jon
And
Snow.
Then he grew a year in a day.
Right. All right. So if you think that that's the scale, Ramsay, Joffrey, and Ollie down here,
Right.
give us a heart. Let us know. I think that's. I don't think Ollie's that bad. I think
No, in fact, I think Jon Snow's going to come back and get him out of jail, give him a pass, and Ollie's going to become a good guy again. The real question I have is Alistair Thorne. What's going to go down? Is he going to get justice? I thought he was the only one that kept screaming attack. I loved the way everyone backed down when they saw Tormund.
I wonder,
no one's going to fuck with Tormund.
and the giant.
Even forget about the giant. The people with the bows and arrows, they're like, this is not enough to take this guy. Bow and arrow can't pierce his beard.
But also, I think the Night's Watch was split.
You think an
because-
arrow can go through that red beard? I don't think
No,
it can.
it's
I
an
think
arrow
that's why
catcher.
it's an arrow catcher.
So he doesn't have to carry a shield.
Right. He doesn't need a shield. He's got the beard.
I think that maybe the comments froze. If you
Or
guys,
people just stop talking to
Did
us.
you guys stop talking?
I totally understand.
yeah, I think that. Oh, there we go.
Oh, no, we're back. Multiple
back.
hearts on Luke again.
On me.
I'm going to do some push-ups next episode or something like that.
What about with Hodor?
Are we going to... I'm wondering if that story is going to be an interesting story. Because they
Tormund-
obviously brought it up for a reason.
Tormund is going to be key at the Battle of Winterfell.
Yes.
Hope John will kill Ramsay Snow. Ramsay Bolton. Lord Bolton.
Lord Bolton.
Hodor.
Willis.
You remind me Prince in young years. Is that you? Are you Prince?
I doubt it.
Probably
you.
I don't think I'm.
I don't think either of
I
us
don't think
look
either of
like
us are very
Prince.
Prince-ish.
No.
Not
But
that
that's okay.
Prince.
We'll take it. All right. So did we cover... What else went down? I have notes that mostly just say Jon Snow
Can't
everywhere.
leave Cersei out of that list. Yeah, I wonder if Cersei's ever like what's happening now with the Lannister storyline.
I don't know.
Like,
I'm bored of Tommen. What a weak king.
Do we want to like just push them aside and? Like,
I know that, and they already alluded to this in the trailers that there's going to be an entire Lannister army,
the Lannisters are
coming down
broken,
on the Citadel.
Way packed. The episode.
There's going to be a time when Jaime shows up on horseback with all his soldiers, and they're going to fight
Lannisters
the
will be
battle.
out of the story soon. And so King's Landing just fall already.
There is. I've seen in the trailer that
They have to
epic
worry
scene
about
of
the
them
Dornish.
surrounding the Citadel with all those people. There's going to be a civil war in King's Landing.
Cersei's giant is scary. Yes, the mountain.
I don't even like looking at him.
He is awesome.
I'm surprised that Cersei's okay being in a room alone with that guy. You see his eyes; he's terrifying.
No, he's terrifying, and I couldn't wait whenever he was standing in front of all those.
What are they going to do? Stab him? He's already dead.
I was like, please, just rip into them. Just rip into them.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait for the mountain to go crazy.
It's going to happen eventually.
Okay. Faith in the Crown.
Is Tommen going to get killed this season? Is Tommen a goner?
I think that nobody cares about him.
So then he's a goner.
Maybe. Do you think there's a future for Tom in here?
If there's no future, then he's dead.
I don't. Let's see. The Lannisters are only going to get stronger since the Tyrells are joining them.
Are they? But the Tyrells are still in jail. Do you think they get out?
They'll get them out.
And who's going to get them out? Cersei doesn't want them out. Jaime's not going to want them out. Tommen wants them out. But that's pretty much
Giants are already dead. Did I miss something? Well, there's several giants. There's the real giant, the giant. There were two of them. The Wildlings had. One is still alive.
Right.
But then if you're talking about the mountain, which we were just talking about, he's kind of giant-ish.
He's giant-ish. He's more Hodor giant than actual giant.
Yeah. I mean, personally, if there weren't so many other really, really interesting things happening, I would be interested in what happens to the Lannisters. But at this point, it's just like I'm with the Jon Snow story. I'm still with the Daenerys story and the Dothraki. What else? Like I want to see what happens to Sansa, and I'm glad that they keep showing her, but it's like little bits. That's okay. I want to see what happens with Reek.
I think what it's all coming to.
The North is dominating big time. I want to see what happens with Ramsay.
Yeah, but I think the North is gonna, become an alliance once Jon Snow kind of takes over.
Mance
we're gonna
is still
get
alive.
Sansa back. We're gonna
not
get
in the show. Someone mentions Mance Rayder. Mance Rayder's still alive in the books.
In the books, but no, he's definitely dead.
They got rid of him.
He's definitely dead.
They're trying to trim the characters.
Yeah, and I think also Melisandre's now going to be a good guy, working with the Wildlings and Jon Snow and whatnot. I think it's really going to have to come down to everyone that's not a bad guy and is not dead versus the White Walkers. And then there's going to be some weird peace, kind of, and that's how it's going to end, like at the end of The Matrix.
How do you guys... That's a great question. How do you guys think Game of Thrones can possibly end? How can
Or
it
is it going to be a Sopranos ending?
Are they just going to cut to black?
Are they going to Sopranos it?
During Journey?
That's a good question.
Tyrion-
During Journey.
Tyrion
I
puts a
hope
dime in
whatever
the
happens,
jukebox.
it goes down during Journey.
Don't
for
stop
sure.
believing. Targaryen and Starks versus others. Sam will return during the war against the White Walkers. Ghost versus Ramsay's dogs. Oh, that's a good one.
I like
versus
that.
Ramsay's dogs.
I mean, 10 dogs versus a wolf. The wolf's going to die pretty quickly, so I hope that doesn't happen.
Daenerys will be rightful king with her half-brothers. Varys sitting on the throne. That's an interesting one.
Or is Jon Snow more... Is he have more claim to the throne?
Oh, thinking about that family tree just makes my head hurt.
It's very confusing.
But he's also illegitimate, so theoretically he doesn't have a claim.
Right.
Unless Daenerys
gives
makes him her heir.
If she decides
because
she doesn't
Daenerys,
want to be queen anymore?
She doesn't expect to be creating a male heir.
Right.
Or any heir. Her dragons are her children.
Right.
I missed a good one. Tyrion is going to bang all the sand snakes in a huge orgy. Credits.
Okay. I buy that. Oh, another thing. I only like one of the sand snakes, and that's the one that poisons Bran.
Jon equals Hand of the King. Maybe.
Jon could be Hand of the King.
But don't you think Jon Snow's a better, more qualified leader than Daenerys?
Absolutely. He knows what's going on.
But I guess
He's
maybe
from
that's
that
what you want in a
world.
Hand of a King, right?
Yeah. I guess so. Or maybe Tyrion is the Hand of the King and should be Hand of the King.
I think Tyrion would
He's
be the
the
best.
ultimate Hand of the King.
The Realm and the Dragons against the White Walkers in the Last Great Battle.
Right, that's what it's coming down to. Seems like it. You're either a bad guy and you're going to get killed off at some point over the next 2 years, or you're a good guy and you're going to have to, bend the knee to the good guys.
They
and fight
need
the White
to
Walkers.
all three rule together, but maybe they separate into 3 different kingdoms. Maybe Daenerys stays on the other side of the Red Sea, and Tyrion takes the south in King's Landing,
And Jon takes the north.
and the north, including the other side of the Wall.
Happily ever after.
Maybe.
With
And they
that,
all get together for family reunions and
I'm
picnics.
into that. So the U.S., Russia, and Europe form an alliance. And
Oh, here's a really great question. Who saw the death of Bruce Bolton coming?
I did not see that coming.
I didn't see it coming either.
I was not shocked by it, but I definitely did not see that coming. And I'm glad it happened because, again, too many characters. Let's that whole thing, and then with the male heir.
I did, says Boss Jones. And Solani? I can't really read that. Periscope, the names are really hard to read. They're like in light gray on white.
Use more bold fonts with your names.
They can't. It's Periscope.
Oh, okay, never mind. Don't
Bolton
use bold
loves
fonts.
dogs. And dogs love Boltons.
Yeah.
For lunch.
Yeah.
I was upset because Starks couldn't take revenge. Well,
They'll get some revenge.
we'll
Jon
see.
Snow's coming back.
They'll get it in their way.
Just depends what type of Jon Snow it's going to be.
Reek gets revenge. Who will Arya kill? I think
I don't think anyone.
I think Arya's done. I think
Yeah.
she'll be like one of the faceless people.
She's going to be what she wanted to become, and that's totally separate from any of that.
I think there's a very good chance that none of the Starks, all of these main characters, I think there's a very good chance they never see Arya again. Or
Right.
if they see Arya, she'll be like changing her face and they won't even know it's Arya.
Right. Oh, that would be cool.
Walder Frey, maybe. That would be a good one.
I
for Arya
know
to kill.
through the trailers that there's some scene of him back in his keep giving a toast to all
Walder
his
Frey?
people. So I have a feeling that he's definitely going to get killed
She
this
kept
season.
Needle. Did she keep Needle? I thought they threw it away.
No, she hid Needle.
Oh, she hid Needle.
She hid Needle. She can't find it now because she's blind. But
Right. Where did I put that thing?
which stone? I'm not really sure again.
Oh, I found it.
Yeah, well, she's got that stick now, so maybe she doesn't need.
She hid Needle in a wall. That
Yeah.
Needle is going to come back to get her.
Yeah,
Euron Greyjoy back from the dead. Yes, I believe so.
Balon Greyjoy back from the dead. They're not going to bring him back from the dead.
No, Euron Greyjoy, the brother.
the brother.
He comes back. He says, "I'm the drowned god."
He literally went insane.
like he's back, and they thought he was
Now,
dead.
did they mention him again? Because, like I said before, I'm illiterate and I can't read, so I didn't read the books.
You should get the audiobooks.
Okay, does Morgan Freeman do it?
He should.
If it's him or David Attenborough, sign me up. Did they
Who
ever
killed King Greyjoy? That is
his brother? But did they mention him in the show at any point? Is he a thing?
Have they mentioned him in the show? I don't think they have.
I don't remember.
I don't remember
And
them
I really
mentioning
watched
him.
that show. I got a lot of free time on my hand. I watched those episodes.
I knew he was
that came.
coming.
I really thought that was Theon.
Nope.
Under the hood.
Nope. We're
Who
still on
thought that was Theon under the hood? I definitely thought that was Theon that was going to throw him over or something like that.
Yes, they mentioned the brother. I don't remember that, but I wouldn't be surprised because there's a lot of names thrown around.
And obviously, Yora, is that what her name is?
Yara.
Yara's pissed. So it's going to be them two versus each other, right?
Euron Greyjoy is a pirate and more ruthless character. So Euron Greyjoy, the brother,
Is more battle tested.
he's going to be a badass. He's going
Yeah.
to be a force. Will he be
Yara's pretty
Ramsay's up
badass,
here?
too.
Will Euron be like? He's supposed to be a guy that nobody likes.
Right.
He's kind of like the Ted Cruz
So
of
now,
the Iron
exactly,
Islands.
exactly.
Sorry if you're a Ted Cruz supporter.
Exactly. Well, we'll try not to get political, but this
Just
is Game of Thrones. It's
Game of
impossible.
Thrones political.
It's impossible.
Game of Thrones political.
Make Westeros great again, or something.
We're gonna make
like that.
Westeros great
We're gonna
again.
make Westeros great again. So I want to say I really love the customs.
What's going to happen to Jorah? Am I the only one who cares?
Is he going to become? Yeah, you might be
Is
the only
Stone-
one.
I
that
haven't.
cares.
That's a great question. You might be because I haven't seen anyone mention anywhere his grayscale, and I like Jorah, and I don't want to say I don't care, but he's not a priority.
He's not a priority, and I like Dario Naharis.
Poor guy had his
better.
heart ripped out. Poor man. I like when Dario last
He got
episode.
friend zoned so hard, and then he got herpes really bad from like I guess it's kind of like the herpes
From
or
the-
something
from
like
the
that.
Stoneman herpes?
Now, if you have that type of herpes and you just touch someone, do they get it?
It's
Or
really
do you really
contagious.
have to like rub it against or something? He touches
You should-
Daenerys at one point.
You should definitely
During-
disclose it to your partner.
You should disclose it to your partner and wear protection.
Is
He
needle made of
definitely-
Valerian steel? I don't think so. Sorry.
I have no that.
I don't-
probably
I don't
not.
think so.
But there's one point during when they're in the Coliseum last season, he takes her by the hand. Come with me. So he touches her at one point.
Yeah.
So I don't...
It was his good hand.
It was his good hand, so I think it's the grayscale that you can't touch.
I think it's the grayscale.
It's the grayscale.
But she's immune, somebody asked. Maybe. That would be a good explainer. Or maybe it's a continuity error, because it's TV. Those things happen.
Or maybe you just have to touch the grayscale.
But the thing that I liked last episode about Dario and Jorah's epic adventure was when Dario says to Jorah something. I forget the exact quote, but it was like, "You remind me of what
how I'm going to be when I'm old."
Yeah,
romantic.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's a nice little bromance going
I like those
on.
two, but I also don't care that much.
No, and I'm not sure
I would care if there weren't other bigger things happening.
Are they gonna save her? I mean, the dragon definitely shows up. You see Drogon ride over the Khalasar.
I think Drogon's going to save them again because that's what we're expecting.
Maybe they're going to get in there. All three of them are going to be in trouble, and he's going to
Jorah
save the
deserves
day.
a pity shag.
He does deserve a pity shag.
He does.
Someone.
But with the grayscale,
right.
Not,
They don't really have Saram Wrap in Westeros. So it's not
Discuss
like
the White Walkers, please. How about them White Walkers?
I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't know what's going to happen. Did they know that there are dragons involved now?
I don't know.
Because that's really the only thing that can stop them.
I don't think they get many memos.
They don't get the memos. They don't get the memos.
I'm interested.
I hope we see their castle again, like we did in season
Jon
3
Snow
or 4
is
or
part
something.
White Walker. I don't know about that.
Can you be
Ice spiders are coming.
I hope we see those. I hope we see some cool non-White
spiders.
Walker little Walker animals or something.
Dragons are going to rain fire on those bitches.
Here's a question: What's up with the yellow and the green dragon now? So he let them off the chain.
What's dead cannot die.
That's true. They let them off the chain, but they didn't go out the door.
They had.
Now they're just going to walk around the cathedral.
They just want to stretch their
Are
legs.
they going to fly out, and there's going to be some epic 3 dragon battle?
Well, I'm just waiting for them to outgrow that doorway.
Right, and then
well, shit. Our dragons are stuck.
They're growing very quickly. Dragon
it's like one of these fat people. They need to take out a wall to get them out of their house.
Yeah. Well, that could happen. That could happen.
What is dead may never die. What is fat shall not squeeze through the door.
Are the 2 dragons going to meet back up with Dragon? Are they going to have this coalition again?
Yeah,
I mean, is that going to happen this season?
Whenever, I don't know if it's this season.
Are they going to escape?
I wonder if Uncle Benjen is one of the White Walkers.
He's a White Walker for sure. Because he would have found out what was going on if he was still... He's not going to be in captivity anymore because now there's this truce. They would have kind of...
I have no idea. Benjen's a total X factor. If he turns out to be some mastermind behind...
I don't believe that they're going to just write it off and not bring him back again.
I think he's going to
come back in some form or another, especially after last episode.
You look like Uncle Benjen.
Again. People tell me that all the time, so I kind of want him to come back.
You could play him in a flashback.
Oh, yeah.
Too bad the Tower of Joy is next week. It's too late to get in on that.
Too bad I'm not an actor, and I'm a terrible actor, so...
He's a ninja
Too bad that's
ranger.
not going to happen.
Yes. Last week you looked like a call.
Right. That's why I don't cut my hair for that specific
You're a little
reason.
too...
The thing is, if I don't
slim.
go into battle, I can't lose a battle, and then I don't have to cut my hair.
That's how you remain undefeated.
Right. I'm undefeated because I don't
Where
fight
is
anyone.
Sam? Where is Sam?
Does he know yet?
He's an old
He
cat.
has to know. He has to know.
Sam is like...
Sam's still
he's
in
a
bed with
book.
the wildlings. Sam's been getting laid every single night. That's all he cares
He
about
reads a
now.
book, goes
He
to
gets
Gilly,
laid,
reads a
that's
book,
it.
changes a diaper, reads a book.
He's a whipped.
Where
man,
is
that's for
Littlefinger?
sure.
That's a good question. I don't know what's up with Littlefinger. We last saw him in King's Landing.
Does Littlefinger still know exactly what's going on and psyched about it, or is Littlefinger like, oh fuck, it's all?
I
out of
feel
my
like they're
hands?
dropping the Littlefinger ball.
You think he's going to get killed this season?
I don't know. Do you think Littlefinger?
Would you like to see him killed, or is he a character that we?
I
love to
like
hate?
Littlefinger.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's awful, but I like him. But I love Joffrey as a character. And when I look at the old episodes, when I go back, I realize how much I miss Joffrey.
What happened to the dragon glass? They left it at Hardhome. That's taken over.
It looked like they left it behind.
Yeah.
I think Benjen is definitely a White Walker. Oh, here's a theory. Here's a great theory. Somebody tweeted this at us at Essential GOT, which stands for Game of Thrones.
Should we? Is that a good time to plug?
That's a good time to
What do
plug.
we say?
So restream and share us
On
the internet.
On the internet. Excellent.
So here's a theory someone tweeted at me, and I'm sorry I don't have the name, so I can't credit them. So I'm just going to say I came up with it. So we know that Valyrian steel can kill the White Walkers.
Right.
And we also know that there's like a handful of swords in known existence.
Right.
But the Iron Throne is supposed to be comprised of all these swords from the armies that have been vanquished from long
So you
ago.
think there's a lot of Valyrian steel in
So
the throne.
the Iron Throne might be made of Valyrian steel swords, which means that right there is your source. Like, you could create a whole bunch of weapons.
But the dragon was what forged it. You might need a dragon to unforge it.
Well, I know where we can get 3 of those.
Oh, there's dragons in the show.
So if Daenerys gets the Iron Throne,
Right.
or Tyrion gets it, or Jon Snow, or anyone who's theoretically
they're
going
going to swap it out for a folding chair.
They're going to swap it out for a folding chair. But in the books, the Iron Throne is supposed to be like...
IKEA will play a part in
IKEA.
IKEA will play a part in season
So
7.
in the
for
books,
sure.
though, the Iron Throne is supposed to be like this massive, monstrous thing.
It's huge. You walk upstairs,
And so it makes sense. You could like arm an entire army with
Yeah.
the swords from this thing. And in the show, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, if that theory holds true, which I love that theory, there's just not enough. Like, you're going to have
But
like
there
an
is
elite
the
army
dragon glass
squad.
does come from somewhere. I forget which character. Well, do you guys remember which character during one of the seasons was like, "Oh, we get dragon glass from"? There is one city or something where it's from. I think
Where they still produce it?
Where it's not produced. I think it's a natural element or something like
I think,
that.
isn't it Dragonstone? Stannis said it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ciara.
Yeah, tell Sam like, oh, we had that.
Moonstone.
So I think that there is a place where you can get an unlimited or at least a nice amount
Targaryen
of
blood
it.
as well. Jon Snow can kill them. So maybe, but he already killed them, and it's like it got credited to the sword. But
Right.
Maybe it's the Targaryen in him.
Right.
If he's a Targaryen. So, Dragonstone has a lot. We haven't seen Dragonstone for a long time.
That's the place with the ill dragon relief sculpture in the background.
Stannis was there.
Stannis was there. That's a
and
cool
Melisandre.
room. That is
but
a cool
Melisandre
room.
should know about it, right? So if anyone's going to bring it up,
Yeah.
in Davos, he should
Yeah.
know about it.
Davos once again becoming consigliere to everyone. Now he just
the best.
advises Melisandre. I mean, he is the world's greatest goddamn advisor.
After Tyrion.
After Tyrion,
But
Have
Tyrion
they
doubles as a
have they
drinking
met
buddy.
yet? They've not met yet. That's going to be some great banter. I hope that happens.
Isn't the throne made from enemies of the realm, not Valyrian
Enemies of the realm could have had Valyrian
Maybe.
steel,
I'm just
though.
saying that I think it's ancient, and therefore it could have a lot of Valyrian
Right.
steel in it.
Right.
I drink, therefore I know. I wanted to
That
see
was a good
Davos
line.
use that sword. I did too.
The more wine I drink, the more I think I know about dragons. Because
let's
that's
see.
just true. That's
Who's
science.
the third dragon
Drinking wine.
belong to? Can't be Tyrion. It could be Tyrion. The theory, and when we talked about this, if you just
Are we all
recently-
positive that 2 of them are Daenerys and Jon Snow? So there's only one X factor.
The dragons are going to fall into the wrong hands, in my opinion. Like Ramsay.
How? Unless
I don't think
Brandon becomes evil or something, I don't see.
No.
I mean, they are fucking tremendous now.
So the theory
They're very
is
big.
that-
Do you remember how big in the first season? Do you guys remember this? In the first season, where Arya is like chasing a cat,
Theon?
she ends up and she finds this huge. She
Oh, I
hides
love that.
in this massive dragon skull, and the dragon skull is the size of
And that's
a
the
room.
And when you haven't read the books and you're watching the show,
which
and
is
they're
10 times the size of the dragon that rescues Khaleesi in the
But
Colosseum.
they're talking about the dragons in the first episodes, and if you're not a book reader, you just think it's mythology, right?
Right.
And then you see Arya with this giant dragon skull. It's like, oh, they're real.
And tremendous, way bigger than I thought they were going to be. But they look they
Dude.
look almost that big now.
Dude, will Bran be able to use his warg abilities to control a dragon? Yes, we mentioned that because
You won't be able to walk again. You can fly. Standard
that's what they
Matrix
said.
type thing.
That's what they
obviously.
said.
Yeah.
But will Bran, if there's 3 dragons, and let's say it's,
Unless he just becomes a 3-eyed crow and just flies around the dragons,
that would suck.
like he's a drone or something.
That would suck.
I don't know.
Or he could be like a locust.
He could be some type of locust. It's probably the dragons can't really sneak up on people 'cause they're
Butterfly,
so big.
Bran controlling White Walkers. That's a good point.
Oh,
if
can he do
Bran
that?
if Bran is capable of controlling a dragon,
He'll go into the Bart Simpson looking dude and
Yeah.
and clean house.
gonna be like-
I hope we get back to that castle and we get to see more of that White Walker culture, which there is. They had that little rock Stonehenge where they turned the baby into the white. I'd like to see
Right.
more of that culture. Do they have a language? Do they have a goal? Like once we make the world White Walker land, is there a White Walker peace that they're going for?
yeah, I don't know.
You know?
I don't know how they'll explain that.
Like let's say if
unless Benjen comes back and he's been with them, he's like, listen, here's what I know about the White Walkers.
is Benjen the Bart Simpson, or would he maintain his long locks?
I don't think so. I think he'd keep his badass hair.
Okay. Does that mean that there was a human being that had that hair that was Bart Simpson beforehand?
Maybe. Maybe he was a stylist.
He could have been a stylist, exactly.
Okay, Benjen is a White Walker. Jon Snow will control the White Walkers with badass hair.
He could only control one person at a time, for now.
But
and is this old guy going to play a part in any of this whole war, or is he... He'll probably get killed off once Brandon finds out what he's able to do.
And in Season 2, they said something about a horn that Mance Rayder had that could bring down the whole wall. There's supposedly a horn.
I don't remember that, really.
I am aware of this. There's supposedly a horn that... I think it was if you blow it a certain number of times, it would destroy the wall. Is that correct? Guys, fact check me. I think it was like if they blow it either 2 times or 3 times.
Really?
And if they say Bloody Mary in a mirror...
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think Freddy Krueger's
involved.
Yes. Biggie Smalls is involved. I think Biggie Smalls comes in and like runs through the wall. Something like that.
That would make sense.
It involves early 90s hip-hop. That much we know.
Someone wants to kill Donald Trump. That's.
I assumed there'd be some Donald Trump hate coming up.
There's got to be a mention of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed. It looked like a good comment. Who said you will no longer walk, you will fly to Bran?
That was the guy the old man is hanging out with now.
That's the personification of the Raven.
Didn't he look different in...
I think he's a different actor.
He's a different actor. Oh, so he was another guy that got replaced?
I think the guy that played... Correct me if I'm wrong. The guy that played the Raven, the personification of the Raven, I think he died. I think the actor died.
Oh, like in real life?
I think in real life. I could be wrong.
Because I remember having him having long hair or something like that, but then he was in the trees, so I don't even remember.
Maybe he just shaved.
Maybe he just
shaved. Yes, new actor changed. So I think
maybe
that's
what
he
happened.
Died. I mean, unfortunately.
I mean, Google it. I would imagine you can find out right now.
Yes, he got recast.
He got recast. Okay.
So, anyway, that's why you guys are here to fact check us.
Thank you.
That's terrible. They forgot about him on set and he died. He was stuck in his tree.
They didn't let him out. You know that there's you can check to see if this story is true. There was something about the Star Wars set, because there was a little person in R2-D2's costume,
Kenny Baker,
and they forgot about him at one point for like an entire day or something. So maybe they Kenny Bakered him.
They might have Kenny Baker.
They might have Kenny Bakered him.
That he wasn't the first Kenny Baker.
He was not. He was not. There's like 7 R2-D2s.
You wouldn't know.
That's terrible.
Okay, here's a great question. Baked salad, which is also
a fantastic name.
You win.
Can you bake a salad? Is that possible?
It sounds delicious.
Yeah, why not?
Who's the crazy brown elf lady with the 3-eyed raven?
I don't know, but are they annoying? They annoy me. They annoyed me last season. Come with me, Brendan Stark. I don't like their accents. They look too Klingon-y to me. I don't know. I don't get it.
They're
the children of the forest, but they annoy me for some reason.
Child of the forest. Yeah, so they're children of the forest. I think that's the answer.
They're giving me like 2 minutes at a time.
But I was waiting for she enjoys long walks on the beach.
She probably does. There's no beach around.
They're ancient.
Right, they're immortal. It seems
so basically, we don't know a whole lot about their daily routine, just like we don't know about the White Walkers' daily routine.
Right, they sit there and they wait for...
Someone loves the children of the forest. They're the Keebler elves.
They're the Keebler elves.
They
exactly.
bake cookies and they advise.
Right, and they make shoes.
Stark.
Yeah, and they're advisors.
Okay, they are some oddball-looking motherfuckers.
Yeah, they're weird, and I don't. But they were children last season, and now
she's
they're
protecting
adults.
Bran. That's all we care about.
Right, but she needs the sister to protect Bran. That's what she was saying.
Yeah,
they can't leave the confines of that area.
I think they're stuck. They're on house arrest.
Yeah,
look like the Spriggans from Skyrim.
They look like Klingons. They look like
little
Klingon girls. I don't know. What do I know?
You don't know Klingons.
I don't. I'm not really a Trekkie.
Will Cersei kill her son? I don't think so.
No, I don't see that happening.
Thank you, Baked Salad, and may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
I assume you were leaving. That's why you said thank us. Cersei
do you
lives
think
for herself
Cersei's
now.
going to die this season? That would be a big death. I don't think so. I think they're going to drag her out till as long as they can.
I think they're going to wrap up the Lannister storyline as quickly as they can.
Think they'll kill Jaime?
I think Cersei is vile enough to kill her son.
Why would she?
That would actually be a really good twist, though.
It would be, but what? I mean, they lose all their power without Tommen.
Cersei won't die because Marjorie isn't dead.
Well, what would be the advantage of Cersei killing Tommen? Tommen is the key to all of their power.
Maybe he goes against her. I don't know.
But
because Marjorie, I don't know.
right, so he's going to release Marjorie.
I think she loves her son too much.
I agree. I don't see it happening, and I think she loves power too much and being the mother of the king.
Yeah, I don't know. I would be surprised if it happens.
I would be very surprised.
Thoughts on Zombie Mountain? Zombie Mountain is awesome. I cannot wait for him to kill a bunch of people.
Yeah, I think he's going to go into berserker mode. Do you remember like
They keep taunting us with just like showing him like
old school Diablo 2? If you guys played that game, if you were the barbarian, you can go berserker mode and just do whirlwinds the whole time.
I didn't play that game.
I think that's what he's going to do. He's just going to whirlwind.
Cersei kill Marjorie and Tom will kill Cersei.
Or maybe Jaime's going to kill Cersei or something like that. That would be
or
fascinating.
maybe Jaime kills Tommen. Civil War this week.
Civil War
this week. Not on Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Well, definitely King's Landing Civil War. I mean, we do see that epic showdown of Jaime at the head of a huge army surrounding the Citadel. So that's going down. We saw that scene happen.
No, he's not. He's the reason for his foolishness. He's the cause for loss. Cersei said to Jaime, it's only us. They didn't even acknowledge Tommen, which we actually pointed out.
Yeah, like they have no love for him outside of the fact that he's the source of their power.
And the theme of this season is revenge.
I'm pretty sure the theme of the show is revenge.
Well, I think it was like a quest for power, and then as a result, revenge.
Right. Because
those things go hand in hand.
Right.
Okay, so guys, we have been talking for like an hour.
It's time to wrap it up. Do you have any?
It was time to wrap it up a half hour
Right, it was time half an hour ago, but so be it. One thing I would like to add that I think was really cool, I really like the customs of the Ironborn and the Greyjoys and all that stuff that they do around the water. You know what? When I die and when it happens, that's the way I want to get buried. I want lots of people on horses with flags. Hopefully it'll be a very windy day or something, so the flags are blowing in the wind and just set me off into sea.
But I
be sad about it, but it should look cool.
It looked cool, but I liked when the Tullys had their funeral, where the Blackfish, it was Catelyn's father, I believe.
That was cool too.
They shot the arrow.
That was cool
lit him
too.
on fire.
Okay, so I want everything that the Greyjoy had. Just shoot one arrow at me.
There you go. Shoot an arrow to burn you. Just don't miss.
And I think their customs are so interesting that whoever that cool old dude next to Yora was like, "Oh, we'll see if you win." Oh. Maybe you will be the queen, the first woman to rule the Iron Islands, but we don't know that. So what's that going to be? And he didn't even know that Lord Greyjoy's brother had come back yet.
No.
So now there's really going to, or maybe he did. Maybe that's why he brought it up. So there's going to be some. Civil War is going to be going down over there. Also, there's going to be Civil War is already going down.
Spider-Man's going to be in the next episode.
So Spider-Man's coming in. The Black Panther is going to show up, and Iron Man's going to save the day with Thor at some point.
Okay, a couple last comments because these were good ones. Let's see. One last thing from Syar. One last thing, I think Rickon is the gift from the Umbers to Ramsay that we saw in the promo. So we haven't seen Rickon for a long time.
Oh, you think if Ramsay gets Rickon, that's going to be a whole
That's going to be a game
thing.
changer.
Yes.
That's going to be a Game of Thrones changer.
That's
That's a great twist. I don't know, but that sounds like the kind of thing that would happen.
Yeah, I like that.
Danielle Pratt, I could talk about this all day with you guys. Thank you very much. Our battery would die, but I appreciate the thought. And
who thinks Game of Thrones should be a 2-hour show and not a 1-hour show?
I mean, does anyone disagree with that?
Right? What would be wrong with that? How come a show can't be 2 hours long?
Is Rickon going to be the same actor? I mean, they kept Bran as the same actor, and he's like 7 feet tall now. So
he's huge.
It's been so long since we saw Rickon. It doesn't really.
I wouldn't even know.
Will he survive long enough to have any lines?
And what about the Wildling girl that
2-hour show, 3-hour show?
Right. Like we talked about last time, just binge it.
Just binge it.
Throw it all in.
It's kind of like a 10-hour show. Every season is like one big movie.
10 hours, yeah, exactly.
I heard Catelyn's uncle will be back this season. The Blackfish.
Well, we know he's still alive.
He's due. He's overdue.
Yeah. I don't think any of these characters that we're talking about, like him, like Benjen, I don't think they're just not going to bring them back up.
They're
either going to show them die or talk about why they died, or they're going to bring them back into the fold one way or another.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's going to...
I don't think the writers are too non-sloppy for them to forget about
I'm starting to think that the problem is, like, I never read the books. I read about the books.
Are you illiterate also?
I'm semi-literate. I can read comments on Periscope, but that's about it.
Right. I can't even. He fields the comments.
But I feel like after this season and the things I'm reading between the lines and the things they're doing that feel really rushed, I think I'm going to have to pick up the books. because it feels like this show isn't giving me all the story that it could be giving me.
Right.
If it were 2 hours, it could.
You know what? I didn't read Lord of the Rings till after the movie started coming out, and I actually enjoyed the movies more because of the books, so maybe it'll be like one of those types of things.
And someone just asked if we read the books.
No.
Might go for the books. Okay, let's get a Groupon going. Let's all buy the books together.
We'll buy the books together.
We'll buy wholesale pricing.
Done.
And then they'll all sit on our shelves.
We will be swarming
we'll
the
keep
Barnes.
saying, I'm gonna get to those books someday.
Swarming Barnes and Nobles, taking over.
Jorah will turn into a stone man. Unless he doesn't.
Right. Unless
To
he
be
doesn't.
continued.
Who even knows? Anyway,
right.
we'll wrap
Thank
it
you,
up.
guys.
Thank you for watching.
Play us out.
This is Joe and Luke. Don't forget to retweet us on the internet
at essential_TV.
Right.
And at essentialGOT for Game of Thrones. Peace out, guys. Great show. Thank you very much. Peace. Peace, peace. Lots of peace. The only peace we get related to Game of Thrones is whenever we end a broadcast. Maestro.
Oh, bum bum ba ba bum bum.